In a vast galaxy filled with different species and cultures, the Galactic Council sat in a grand chamber discussing an important matter. The chamber was filled with representatives from many planets, each with their own views and opinions. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, but the topic at hand was serious: humanity. Humans are nothing but a primitive race, sneered a tall, green-skinned alien named Zarnak. His eyes glinted with arrogance. They have no advanced technology, no real power. We should not worry about them. Another council member, a wise old alien named Eldar, frowned. His many years of experience had taught him to be cautious. We should not underestimate them, he warned. Humans have shown surprising strength when pushed. We must respect them. But Zarnak laughed, dismissing Eldar's words. Respect? For those hairless apes? You're wasting our time! Let's discuss more important matters like the trade routes through the Zenth Nebula. As Zarnak spoke, other council members nodded in agreement. They shared his view that humans were not a threat. They believed their advanced technology and military might could easily crush any human uprising. The council decided to ignore Eldar's warning. They thought they could act freely, with no consequences. Meanwhile, on a small blue planet called Earth, humans went about their daily lives. They were unaware of the council's discussions. But deep in their hearts, they possessed an instinct for survival. Humans were resourceful and clever, able to adapt to any situation. They had survived countless challenges, both from nature and from each other. Back in the council chamber, the discussions continued. The members debated many issues, but the laughter and arrogance remained. Some even proposed a plan to invade Earth, believing they could conquer it with little effort. The idea was met with cheers and excitement. They saw it as an easy victory, a chance to show their power. Eldar listened in silence, his heart heavy. He could feel that something terrible was about to happen. He had read ancient texts about the dangers of provoking humans. They were known for their resilience and fierce spirit, but no one seemed to care about his warnings. Finally, he stood up, ready to speak again. Please listen to me! The humans may seem weak, but they are unpredictable. If we attack, they will fight back with everything they have. We should find a way to communicate with them, not provoke them. Zarnak interrupted, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Communicate? With those creatures? Why would we do that? We should show them who is in charge. The council erupted in laughter again, drowning out Eldar's voice. He sat down, defeated. It was clear that the council had made up its mind. They were blinded by their arrogance, refusing to see the truth. Days passed, and the council continued to plan their invasion. They gathered ships and weapons, confident of their success. Little did they know that humanity was watching. On Earth, scientists and military leaders had been monitoring strange signals coming from space. They noticed ships approaching their planet and began to connect the dots. The humans, who often fought among themselves, realized that they faced a common enemy. United by the threat of invasion, people from different countries came together. They shared information, weapons, and strategies. They remembered their history of overcoming great odds and found strength in their unity. As the council prepared for their attack, they remained unaware of the storm brewing on Earth. They laughed and planned, oblivious to the fact that the humans they mocked were about to show them just how dangerous they could be. Eldar watched from afar, knowing that soon the council would face the consequences of their arrogance. He felt a mix of fear and hope. Perhaps, just perhaps, the humans would prove him right. The council's mistake was clear. They had underestimated a species that thrived on adversity. As they continued their preparations, the stage was set for a showdown that would change everything. The universe was about to learn that provoking humans came with risks they were unprepared for. The Galactic Council was busy planning their invasion of Earth, but far away, a small alien ship was on a different mission. The ship, named the Stellar Hawk, was on a routine patrol near the human colony. The crew consisted of a brave captain named Varek and a group of curious aliens who wanted to learn more about humans. As the Stellar Hawk glided silently through space, Varek scanned the area. "Bring up the visual feed," he ordered, eager to see what the humans were doing. The ship's screens lit up, showing images of the human colony below. What they saw surprised them. At first, the humans appeared to be going about their daily lives. They were gardening, playing sports, and engaging in friendly conversations. But then Varek focused the camera on a group of humans gathered in a large field. They were not just playing, they were training. "What is this? One crew member, a young alien named Lyra, exclaimed. "They seem to be preparing for something." Varric narrowed his eyes and adjusted the focus. The humans were running drills, practicing with weapons, and working together in teams. "This is not just a game," he said, intrigued. "They are training as if they expect an attack." The crew watched closely as the humans displayed impressive skills. They moved quickly, working together like a well-oiled machine. Varric noticed that some humans were using makeshift weapons, sticks and ropes, but they handled them with surprising precision. "Captain, do you think they know about our plans?" Lyra asked, her voice filled with concern. Varric nodded slowly. "They might. We should investigate further." As they descended closer to the colony, the crew felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. They wanted to learn more about these humans, but they also feared what the humans might do if they found out they were being watched. Once they landed, Varric decided to send a small team of scouts to observe the humans up close. The crew suited up in their stealth gear, hoping to remain unseen. Varric led the way, feeling a sense of purpose. They needed to understand these humans better before their council made any rash decisions. They moved quietly through the woods surrounding the training area, careful to stay hidden. As they watched, they saw something truly amazing. The humans were not just training, they were showing a level of teamwork that Varric had never seen before. They communicated without speaking, using gestures and expressions. Each human seemed to know their role, and they worked together seamlessly. "This is incredible," Lyra whispered. "They are more organized than we thought." Varric agreed, feeling a mix of respect and worry. If they can unite like this, they will be a formidable force. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the trees. A group of humans had knocked over a large wooden obstacle as part of their training. They laughed and cheered, their faces bright with excitement. The aliens watched in awe, realizing that humans were not just fighting, they were building a strong bond. But Varric also noticed something else. The humans had a fierce determination in their eyes. They were not just practicing for fun, they were preparing for a fight. Varric felt a chill run down his spine. "We must warn the council," he said urgently. "These humans are not to be underestimated." The scouts returned to the Stellar Hawk, and Varric quickly ordered the ship to take off. As they ascended, he reflected on what they had witnessed. The council's arrogance had blinded them to the truth. Humans had a spirit and resilience that made them dangerous when provoked. When they reached their home base, Varric hurried to the council chamber. The council members were gathered, discussing their plans for invasion. Varric stepped forward, his heart racing. "I have important news," he declared. The council turned to him, their expressions a mix of curiosity and irritation. "What is it, Varric?" "We are busy!" Zarnak snapped, still filled with his usual arrogance. "I saw the humans training. They are preparing for battle! They have skills we did not expect," Varric urged, trying to get his point across. "If we attack, we will face a fierce fight." The council members exchanged skeptical glances. Zarnak rolled his eyes. "You must be mistaken. Humans are weak." "No," Varric insisted. "You do not understand. They are united and determined. If we provoke them, we will regret it." Eldar, the wise old alien, nodded in agreement. "We must listen to Varric. Underestimating humans could lead to our downfall." As the council debated, Varric felt a sense of urgency. They had to change their plans. The humans were not the easy target they believed them to be. They were strong, and the council was in for a surprise. The Stellar Hawk had uncovered a truth that could alter the course of the galaxy. The danger of provoking humans was more real than they ever imagined. The Galactic Council was in chaos after Varric's warning about the humans. Many members were skeptical, still convinced that their advanced technology and military power made them invincible. Zarnak stood up, his voice booming with confidence. "We have ships, weapons, and experience. These humans are just primitive creatures. They can't possibly stand against us." Eldar, the wise old alien, shook his head. "You are making a grave mistake. Humans have a unique spirit. When they are threatened, they fight back harder than anyone. We have seen this throughout their history. They are clever and resourceful." Varric stepped forward, determined to make them see the truth. "I watched them train. They have a fierce determination and incredible teamwork. If we attack, we may face losses we cannot afford." Some council members began to murmur, realizing that perhaps they had not fully understood the human spirit. But Zarnak's arrogance overshadowed their concerns. "Enough of this! We cannot allow a group of hairless creatures to dictate our actions. We will proceed with our plan to invade Earth." As the council voted, A sense of dread filled the room. The majority sided with Zarnak, pushing forward with the invasion plan. Varek felt a sinking feeling in his stomach. They were going to underestimate humanity, and it could cost them dearly. Meanwhile, on Earth, the humans were gearing up for the unexpected threat. News of a possible alien invasion spread quickly. Governments from all over the planet joined forces, uniting to prepare for the fight. In cities, towns, and villages, people trained together. They shared knowledge and resources, knowing they faced a common enemy. As the days passed, humans demonstrated their adaptability. Engineers developed new weapons from everyday materials. They created makeshift defenses, turning schools, parks, and factories into training grounds. Families came together to build barricades and strategize. In a small town, a young woman named Maya stood with her friends in a community center. "We can't let them think we're weak," she said passionately. "We have to show them that humans won't back down." Her friends nodded, inspired by her determination. Back in the Galactic Council, Varek could only watch as the decision was made to send a fleet toward Earth. They launched hundreds of ships, filled with soldiers and advanced weaponry. As they traveled through space, Zarnak felt confident. "This will be an easy victory," he boasted to his fellow council members. As the fleet neared Earth, Varek felt a mix of fear and anger. He had tried to warn them, but they refused to listen. "They will regret this," he muttered under his breath. "Humans have a fire inside them that we cannot comprehend." The moment of invasion arrived. The fleet descended upon Earth, cloaked in darkness, ready to strike. But as they prepared for battle, they were met with an unexpected sight. Humans had set up a massive defense network. Makeshift weapons lined the streets, and thousands of people stood ready, united in their determination to protect their planet. The aliens were taken aback by the sight. "What is this?" One alien soldier gasped, his eyes wide with disbelief. Zarnak ordered the ships to fire, confident that their advanced weapons would easily destroy the defenses. But as the beams of energy shot toward the surface, the humans responded with their own surprise. They had created shields from the very materials of their world. Explosions lit up the sky, but the humans stood firm, refusing to be defeated. "Captain, they are fighting back!" an alien officer shouted in shock. Varek watched in horror as the battle unfolded. The humans were not just defending, they were fighting with everything they had. Their spirit shone brightly through their actions, proving that they would not give in easily. As the battle raged on, Zarnak began to panic. How can they be this strong? This is not what we expected. He could see that their ships were being damaged, and the morale of his soldiers began to falter. Meanwhile, Varek felt a surge of hope. The humans were showing their true strength. They were fighting not just for survival, but for their homes, families, and futures. He realized now that humanity's greatest weapon was not their technology, but their spirit and unity. The Galactic Council had made a huge mistake by underestimating humanity. As the battle continued, Varek wondered if they would ever understand the power of a united human front. The outcome of this fight could change everything for both sides. Would the Council learn their lesson before it was too late? Or would they continue to fall into the trap of their own arrogance? The universe was about to witness a battle like no other, and humanity was ready to rise up against the odds. The sky was filled with bright flashes of light as the battle for Earth erupted. The galactic fleet hovered ominously above, their ships glimmering like stars against the dark backdrop of space. Below, humanity was ready. In the command center of the human defense, Maya stood with her friends, looking at the screens showing the battle unfolding outside. The sounds of alarms blared, and soldiers moved quickly, preparing for the fight of their lives. "This is it!" Maya shouted, her heart racing. "We must stand together and show them we will not back down." As the first beams of energy rained down from the alien ships, the humans held their ground. They had created makeshift shields from metal scraps and other materials, deflecting the incoming attacks. The Council had thought the humans would be easy targets, but they were learning quickly that this was not the case. In the skies above, Zarnak watched in disbelief as their first wave of attacks failed. "What are those shields?" he shouted, his voice filled with anger. "We were told these creatures were weak." An officer beside him replied, "They seem to have prepared defenses. They are fighting back harder than we expected." Zarnak clenched his fists, frustration boiling within him. He had underestimated the humans, and now it was costing them dearly. Back on Earth, the humans regrouped. Maya turned to her team, determination shining in her eyes. "We can't let them break our spirit. Let's push forward! They rallied together, united in their cause. Soldiers and civilians worked side by side, crafting weapons and strategies. As the alien ships continued to bombard Earth, the humans launched their counterattacks. Using drones and modified vehicles, they fired back with everything they had. A makeshift aircraft soared into the air, piloted by a skilled engineer named Tom. "This is for our planet!" he shouted, releasing a volley of rockets towards the alien fleet. The rockets exploded against the hulls of the alien ships, shaking the very foundation of their fleet. Zarnak watched in horror as one of his ships went down in flames. "We cannot let this continue!" he roared, rallying his troops. "We will show them the power of the Galactic Empire!" Meanwhile, Varric, who had been observing the battle from the sidelines, felt a pang of guilt. He had warned the Council, but they had ignored him. He now saw the humans as they truly were, fierce, determined, and willing to fight for their survival. He realized that they were not just defending their world, they were fighting for their freedom. As the battle intensified, the humans grew bolder. They began to take the fight to the aliens. Small groups of soldiers worked together, using their knowledge of the terrain to launch surprise attacks on the alien ground forces. Maya led a team through the alleys of the city, their hearts pounding with adrenaline. "Stay low and move quickly," she instructed. The team nodded, following her lead as they darted between buildings. They could see the aliens moving in, trying to take control of the area, but the humans were ready. As they approached an alien unit, Maya raised her weapon and shouted, "Now!" Her team sprang into action, catching the aliens off guard. The aliens were surprised by the humans' courage and ferocity. They had expected easy prey, but instead faced warriors willing to risk everything. Meanwhile, Varric could see the tide of the battle shifting. The humans were fighting back with a strength he had never seen. He couldn't help but admire their spirit. As he watched, he knew he had to take a stand. The Council was making a mistake, and he could not let it continue. In the heart of the battle, Zarnak tried to regain control. "We must regroup and strategize," he ordered, but panic was starting to spread among his troops. The realization that they were losing this battle was sinking in. On Earth, the morale among the humans surged. They could feel the power of their unity, and they were winning ground. The command center erupted with cheers as reports came in of successful counterattacks. "We're pushing them back!" one soldier shouted, pumping his fist in the air. Maya and her team fought with everything they had. They had become more than just defenders. They were warriors fighting for their home. As they took down alien soldiers, their confidence grew. They knew that every victory brought them closer to protecting their planet. As the battle raged on, the Galactic Council began to realize the consequences of their actions. The humans were not to be underestimated. They were fighting with everything they had, and it was becoming clear that this battle would not end easily. The fight for Earth was only just beginning, and both sides would soon learn the true cost of underestimating humanity. The battle for Earth raged on, shaking the very foundations of the planet. Smoke filled the skies as alien ships clashed with determined human defenders. Each side was fierce, but the humans were beginning to turn the tide. They fought not just for their lives, but for their homes, their families, and their freedom. In the command center, Maya and her team watched the screens, their hearts racing as they received updates on the battle. "We're gaining ground!" a soldier shouted, excitement lighting up the room. Maya felt a surge of hope. They had come so far, and they were not about to back down now. Meanwhile, Zarnak paced furiously in his flagship. The situation was deteriorating quickly. His fleet had underestimated the humans, and now they were facing unexpected losses. "We must regroup and hit harder," he shouted at his officers. But doubt was creeping into the hearts of his soldiers. They had expected an easy victory, and now they were questioning their own strength. As the alien ships continued to bombard Earth, Varric watched the humans with growing respect. He could see their determination, their spirit shining through the chaos. They were a force to be reckoned with, and he realized that he had to do something to change the course of this conflict. Suddenly, an idea sparked in his mind. He knew he had to reach out to the humans. He sent a message through a secure channel, hoping it would reach Maya and her team. "This is Varric, a member of the Galactic Council. I wish to speak with you." There is still a chance to avoid further bloodshed. Maya received the message with surprise. "Who is this Varric?" she wondered aloud, glancing at her team. "Can we trust him?" After a moment of debate, they decided to take the risk. They needed to understand what the council wanted and whether a peaceful resolution was possible. Maya agreed to meet Varric in a neutral location outside the city. As she arrived at the designated spot, she felt a mix of fear and determination. Would this alien really want peace, or was it a trap? As she approached, she saw Varric standing nervously, his alien features tense. "Thank you for coming," Varric said, his voice steady but respectful. "I have seen the strength of your people. I have come to warn you that the Council does not fully understand the consequences of provoking humans." Maya listened intently. "What do you mean?" "They attacked us! We are fighting for our lives!" Varric nodded. "I know, but the Council sees only the power of their ships, not the heart of humanity. I have watched you fight, and I believe your spirit can bring change. We can find a way to end this without further loss." Maya felt a flicker of hope. "But how?" "They won't listen to you," Varric sighed. "Perhaps if you speak to them, they will understand. The Council has made a mistake, and they need to see that humans are not weak. They are strong, resourceful, and willing to fight." Maya thought about it. Could they really change the minds of the Council? If we could get through to them, we might save lives. But it won't be easy. As they discussed their options, the battle continued to rage behind them. The sounds of explosions and distant cries echoed in the air, reminding them of the stakes. Time was running out. Back in the command center, news of the meeting spread. Soldiers whispered among themselves, hope beginning to bloom. "Maybe we can end this," one soldier said. "We've fought hard, and if Varric is on our side, we might have a chance." As Maya and Varric returned to the command center, they prepared to address the Council. With every step, the weight of their mission pressed down on them. "Let's show them who we are," Maya said, her determination renewed.